Good day, everybody. How's it going this week? Well, as you can tell, I'm not settled into my house yet. Closing got a little bit delayed, unfortunately, so here I sit in my hotel room and still awaiting my ability to move into the new place. And I'm out of pre-recorded episodes because it was supposed to have closed like 2 weeks ago, guys. That was what it was estimated anyway, and I figured, heck, just put an extra episode and record it in there, you'll be fine. Guess what? Not. But hey, this hotel room is actually not bad. My employer's really sucking it up to me right now. So, anyways, and I could make it look all official. It's a very nice desk. I might as well take advantage of it. So, I told you guys to behave yourselves while I was gone, and you guys were quite busy while I was gone. You leave for 2 months, or you leave for like a month, and then all of a sudden everything just goes crazy. Everyone was, and that cool. I could pound on this desk and the camera doesn't shake. It's awesome. It's great. I could go and the camera doesn't shake because the camera's on the bed. Oh my. Anyways, so yeah. What were we going to talk about this week? Well, this week we'll talk about the most recent thing, which is, so what's the category for today's episode? I'll take game shows for 200, Alex. Game shows. Yes, game shows. Back when I was growing up, which, is so long ago now, and there was something called local television, and, you could only get, for us not rich folks who didn't have cable television quite yet, there was something called local television, the syndicate broadcasting, or whatever. I can't remember the official lingo, but you got 3 channels, all right? So you got ABC, you got CBS, you got NBC. That's what you got. You got the alphabet soups, and that's it. So one of the biggest things, one of the biggest staples of American, Americana back then was game shows, and 2 of the biggest ones in the American mindset are Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, which usually occur one right after the other. And they still exist to this very day, even though it's underneath all the YouTubes and all the Twitches and all the things that everyone else can entertain themselves with the Netflixes and all this other stuff. Things have gotten really competitive for those particular things more than it used to be, but they're still around and people still watch them and people still enjoy them. It's very much a trip down nostalgia lane. So I felt very nostalgic this week as I started watching Jeopardy at a regular basis. But why? I'm not a big Jeopardy fan. Well, it's for research purposes, all right? So for those of you who don't know who Bucktown Tiger is a furry musician, a rap artist, a pianist. Yes, a pianist. A piano cat. He's very well known for playing piano in his tiger fursuit and other things such as that. He's very into trivia, and he very much is in on his American history and things like that. He usually holds regular streams where he, does that. Usually I think it's Tuesday nights. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Depends on how busy he is. He's been very busy lately. But he's also one of the first furry celebrities I met, back in my first furry convention in 2011. We met on the walkway at Anthrocon. We met on the walkway overlooking the dealer's den. And I remember that June 2011 where Barack Obama, who was president at the time, was in town for talking to, I think it was colleges and research things and industry or something like that. I can't quite remember what he was in town for, but we kind of had a little jovial conversation about, the motorcade and all that kind of things. And he's very approachable. He's a very approachable dude, and I like that about him. Some other, popular furries are not very approachable, but he's a very kind soul. He's a very good soul, and he was on Jeopardy. So back in late December of 2017, there were murmurings that he was being looked at to go on Jeopardy because he had made a tweet saying he wasn't going to go to Midwest Fur Fest, which is a furry convention that takes place in Chicago. Over the course of in the winter, and he's like, I'm not going to be able to make it because I'm trying to fulfill my bucket list, and one of those things is Jeopardy, and I've been offered an audition to go onto the show, and so he did that in lieu of going to Midwest Fur Fest last year, which became the largest furry convention in the world at that time. But he certainly got his wish, and that's great because he even though he sacrificed his time with the fandom that he loves, it was a opportunity, and the opportunity paid off, and it paid off big league. That's a Trumpism. Why did I say a Trumpism? Anyways, it paid off big, all right? So he not only got onto the show, and he made his premiere early this month in the first week of May. He won 3 times that first week he was on. So, and he was on a roll. But after that third win on the Friday of that first week of May, he got a break for the next 2 weeks as Jeopardy held the teachers tournament. So, if you don't watch Jeopardy on a regular basis, such as this Joe Schmo right here, Jeopardy has these tournaments every once in a while where they will bring in people of a particular group of people, such as teachers or college students, and they will pit them against each other in a tournament style over like a 2-week period, where they will have a champion and a winner, an overall winner at the end of the tournament, which is done sort of in tandem to the normal Jeopardy, which is just bringing in people who win the auditions or are seen as being good contestants via the auditions and come from every walk of life. So after those 2 weeks, Bucktown Tiger returned this week from May, on the week as of May 21st to May 25th. So I don't know. I will say this: I do not know whether or not these shows are viewable post shows, or maybe you have it on DVR and are meaning to watch it. So I will say that since the games are over, I will be spoiling things up until this point. I will be spoiling things up until May 25th. So if you want to go back and watch the 21st or the 25th Jeopardy episodes to watch Bucktown Tiger battle it out, that is up to you. I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't know where those episodes could possibly be. It's sort of like a sports thing. It's like there's archives are usually not general public facing unless somebody happened to videotape it somewhere and has it in their collection. But having readily access, it's not like a Netflix thing where it's like, oh, I can watch the episodes whenever I want to. It's really like, if you weren't there, it's really going to be hard for you to find the original content, as it were. So that's why I'm going to be spoiling it. Otherwise, I would tell you to do it. But if you do want to try and find those things, go ahead and read the description below. I will tell you when to come back. In fact, actually, I won't tell you to come back. I'm just going to say, I might not have to tell you to come back because I don't know how not to spoil things at the end of the thing. But we'll see. So anyways, Bucktown took day 4. He took day 5. So he took Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and unfortunately on Friday he finally met his match. You could tell it's interesting because you can sort of, as those 5 days of episodes went on, you could tell that the stamina on the Tiger was starting to wane. And I've heard rumors that those are all recorded on the same day. Like they record everything on one day, and then they basically, every contestant's under a non-disclosure agreement, and they can't tell people how it works. So, like, they don't want to ruin the magic, right? Because even studios have magic they don't want to ruin. So, like, they'll take a full day and record episodes 1 to 5, bring in the new contestants, bring in the, keep the champion, etc., etc. They'll record, and then at the end of that one recording day, they'll spread out the episodes over the week. It makes sense logistically because it keeps everyone, there's no reason to have people from all over the country flying to one place for, every single day of the week to record one episode. So for sure that makes, logistically I could see it making a lot of sense. And it also makes a lot of sense when you watch those 5 episodes in tandem because, he started off very strong on Monday, on Tuesday, and then Wednesday he started to flummox a little bit, and on his stamina started to wane a bit until the point where he looked really tired, to the point where in the Friday episode, and this is something I noticed, he made a little nice tiger marks, and here's a little picture I want to show you. I think it's the first one, hopefully. Yeah, so this is a fan art that was done by Cartoonell, at Cartoonell on twitter.com. I'll put a link in the description below. Where in the midst of his streak, of his champion streak, she had basically made a go Josh go, so Bucktown's actual name is Josh. And you notice those little, that little paw thing over the O on his name, that was sort of his insignia that was sort of his insignia in his little contestant box. So they will put the big contestant box in front of it. If you've never seen Jeopardy before, I don't know, but they have your contestant name in the box in front of your little panel. And he put little tick marks above the O to represent the paws. And he made this gesture every time. He would be announced, or if he won, he would do the little paw marks. Take the paw, put your paws up, put your paws up. That's one of his songs, I think. Put your paws up. I think that's one of his songs. I can't remember. It seems familiar. But anyways, long and the short is that what I was talking about is on Friday, it looked more like that exercise girl from the 90s with the exclamation point lady. I can't remember what her name was for the life of me. But it looked more like a dude with long hair than it did Tiger Paws on Friday, and I think it might have been, At that point, he's like, I'm tired. And so, at the end of 7 days, though, Mr. Josh Bucktown Hill secured his 7-day winning streak at $163,721. Now, furries, before you go panhandling this nice gentleman, know that he sort of has plans for some of that money. As I said before, he's sort of an American history buff, and he likes he likes U.S. history and all that stuff. You could tell those were really strong categories of his when those subjects came up in the trivia show. And he said, I've visited all 48 states, and I plan on going to Hawaii and to visit the 2 states that are a little harder to get to. Hawaii and Alaska. And of course, I don't know when these were recorded. I don't know if these were recorded before this month. There might be a reason, Bucktown, that you may want to hold on the Hawaii thing, because that happened when I was freaking away. I wake up one day in this hotel room. I go down to have breakfast at the complimentary breakfast thing, and then I see on the television it's yeah, a volcano's erupting in Hawaii, and I'm like, really? I move away from my home, and all of a sudden it's Kilauea decides to go all crazy. I'm sorry, Kilauea. I had to move. I just had to. Anyway, that's coincidence, but it's funny anyway. But anyway, so yeah. If you're going to make those trips, Mr. Bucktown, go to Alaska first right now. Let Hawaii, you may want to hold on the Hawaii trip for a bit. You don't need to get burned by lava. Ugh, what a mess. Anyways, what were we talking about? It's like eruption, and my brain just went. But anyways, so yeah, he won a lot. He won quite a bit of money, and he won so much that he is what they say in the sports industry, he became the win. I'm sorry. the sorry, hold on. The winningest contestant of the season so far. Excuse me for a second. God. Why did I say that word? I hate that word, but it's the only word I could use. What? I'm sorry, I hate the word winningest. Sorry. So, long story, like, long and short, I went to college, and I had, like, a roommate who was very into sports, and he would, like, leave the ESPN on all the time, and they would use that word all the time, and I was like, is that, back in 2003, I was like, 2004, I was like, is that even a word? Is like, winningest? Really? Well, anyways. So I just used the word. So it's like he's the contestant that won the most. He is the winningest contestant of the season. So what does that mean? So what that means is that he will be back. So even though Bucktown Tiger lost the Friday, and he will no longer be on the show starting next week, he will be returning pretty likely, unless something really adverse happens. He will be returning to Jeopardy for the Tournament of Champions. So what the Tournament of Champions is basically, it's one of those tournaments, as I said, that happens in tandem with the actual show. But this one actually takes the winningest people of the season and brings them back to have a tournament against one another. So, and the people who win the teachers tournament and the college tournament and all the other tournaments they have, I don't know if there's any others, will also be coming back. They automatically have a place in the board. But as you can see, Mr. Josh Bucktown Hill has got his number way up there. So he's pretty solid in there. 7 games, man. Good work. Whew. So, I guess as they say, right? So I guess as they say, like he goes like, how did he win so much? Well, obviously he does a lot of trivia stuff in his spare time, and he enjoys a lot of trivia games. But I think if you ask Charlie Sheen why he's the winningest, it's got to be a little bit of that tiger blood. Oh yeah. Put your paws up. Anyways, I'm gonna get the hop out of here. Enjoy your rest of your week. Enjoy the week. And thank you very much for watching. Kick that like, kick the subscribe button, kick a comment in the comment section. I hope to be established at my actual place pretty soon. The closing date is this week. It's in stone. I've signed the document. It's happening this week. I might pre-record some episodes in this hotel room because, hey, it's pretty nice. I mean, this desk is nice. Like, this is nice, some nice digs, man. So I might record a few episodes here to catch up with all the stuff you guys have been doing while I was away and having my pre-recorded episodes go up. It's like, I really wanted to talk about this one this week. Biggest Little Fur Con happened. Lots of stuff. Like, I can't remember. Biggest Little Fur Con was the biggest one, for sure. But we'll get to that next week. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Have a good one.